Hello, everybody. It's Wes. It's us again. It's us, me, you, and Ben.
Wait, what?
I went deep with it, man. I was going excited.
Welcome to our podcast, listeners. This is Starting Topic.
Sure is. Starting topic this week is Steam Next Fest.
Steam Next Fest.
Now, Ben, I don't know if you know this, but Steam Next Fest is like my favorite thing ever.
I did not know that, actually. Tell me why.
For people who do not know, Steam does a thing where they get a bunch of indie developers, usually indie developers, who are in the process of making games.
For our non-gamers, Steam being the for PC game aggregate.
Yep. That's the storefront.
The platform.
They every 3 to 6 months, I think. I'm not exactly sure. They get a bunch of developers to create demos for their games you can try that are coming out soon. And every time this happens, I play as many as I can and get an idea for what I like. And this time, I have a freaking podcast so I can talk about them.
Oh, yeah?
My other attempts at doing stuff have always failed. I tried making a Steam group. I don't know how to do that right. That's confusing. I also just don't like writing enough.
See, I would love for you to, do you remember when they had curators? Do they still do Steam curators?
They do still do Steam curators. That's actually what I'm talking about, but it's just, confusing to get everything set up.
Okay, yeah.
And if you're doing demos specifically, which I do, it's actually much harder because most demos don't have their own page.
Yeah, okay.
So you can't actually leave a review for it because technically it's a thing in the game. So it gets a little confusing in that regard. But irregardless, I have.
It's just regardless, actually.
I know. My mother says irregardless every time.
That's fair. My mother always said warsh.
I have
instead of wash, she just adds an R. It drives me insane.
Our mutual friend Aiden's mom says Adidas.
What?
Adidas.
Oh, that one's so good. I'm gonna start using that one. Yeah, wait. Hold on. Do you know anyone who does coupon? Oh no, not coupons. Coupons.
No, I do not. That one's new for me.
I love coupons. Ever since I first heard coupons, that's all I fucking say in my head now. From now on.
All right. So I'm just going to go through. I have a lot of notes for all the games I played and some I didn't.
So you play. Okay, how many demos did you play? Did you make a count?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow, okay.
So far.
So 16 games.
Downloaded.
16 game demos we're going to go over real quick.
Yeah, but don't worry. They're going to be fast. I didn't play them in depth because I was going to play so many I knew I was, and also I think they're demos. But the first one's actually a really great example of that.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to play the trailer, which is not going to have any sound. You won't be able to hear anything.
Yeah, this is only for our people who watch the podcast on YouTube and have the video feed.
Yeah. Vindicus, Defying Fate. Baby's first Souls game. Feels like a bad demo to a kid game. Demo consists of the tutorial after the prologue of the game, so you're instantly not invested in the story, and the non-gameplay elements last way too long. When I play a demo, I want to get to the feel for the primary gameplay loop. Give me a bunch of characters to play with, let me swap them out and try them, get into combat, let's get into the combat quick, and dust in some story elements along the way. I'm not going to get invested in the story of a game that doesn't even have an announced release date, which when I wrote that, it didn't.
Now, I'm looking at this trailer, and you said Souls-like, but it's got this Western style aesthetic, but the actual characters' faces have a very anime look to me.
It is that sort of Western looking but Eastern feeling game.
It kind of reminds, have you ever, is it Black Sand or Black Desert, that one Korean
Black
MMO?
Desert Online, yes.
Oh my goodness. I remember when that was still coming out and I was seeing the character creator, but just it's always Korean games too. You can tell by the female characters and how they do the artwork. I mean, these Wolfmen look really cool though.
You want to talk about female characters?
Maybe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow, look at those.
They're really into females over there.
Okay, well, that's going to be a bonus for our watchers. I'm not going to elaborate on that.
No.
But it's in the game trailer. If you just want to look up Vindictus, you'll probably guess what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's I was not really that into it. It's more of a combo-based combat system as opposed to stamina.
So is it more like a character action kind of a Devil May Cry combo style?
Yes, but it plays like Dark Souls.
Weird. Dark Souls is not combos.
No, it's a bit of a weird combo or combination. And if it's not a boss enemy, it's actually kind of too easy in my opinion. Because you can just hit. There's no stamina, so you just hit.
Oh yeah, then if you don't have stamina, then don't bother doing the souls thing.
Yeah, it's really, I would say pretty succinctly, it's not my bag, but it's something if you're into the idea. Also, to elaborate when I say it's a bad demo specifically, like most of what I played was no gameplay.
Yeah, note to our listeners, we're not trying to disparage any games when we talk about like being disappointed in demos, because it's just a demo. A demo is only there to give you an idea of whether you should try it. Sometimes, like, there used to be a period of time where demos were not a thing. Like, game developers used to do demos, and then the demos stopped. And I actually watched a video during that time, and they said it was because demos tend to hurt sales, not help them.
Yeah, I can imagine. And then Steam was like, we'll bring it back. Well, this is an example of a game where, like, the demo itself, in my opinion, is a bit of a weak point. And maybe they just shouldn't have done one.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's no prologue, so you don't really know what the fuck's happening in the story that they're telling you. And also, like, why would you care about the story? You don't know what's happening. So, like,
Monster Hunter always has terrible demos, and that's a shame because, like, I wanted to get into Monster Hunter, and I literally didn't way back when because of the demo I played.
I could not get into Monster Hunter. I tried so hard. It's the camera movements, man. There's no... Back before it was on the PSP, there was no other stick because the PSP only had one. You bought a mod, so to look around, you have to just constantly hit, like, 3 buttons.
Nope, not doing that.
It's awful. But this game, I don't know. I'm not going to say the game itself as it comes out is going to be bad, but I can say I'm not a fan of the demo as I've played it.
How about this? Out of 5 for the demo.
2.
2. All right.
5.
Moving on.
All right. Lighthouse of the Lost Souls. Now, this game, if you'll notice, Ben, you can tell because maybe the listeners are listening. Looks pretty cool, right? In the trailer here.
Yeah. I'd say,
terrible gameplay. This is the worst one.
Oh,
probably.
Shame.
Let me read it. Asset flip garbage that looks decent in trailers and pictures. A better demo than Vindictus, but overall not a good game. Bad combat, third person with no controller support. Basically a horde mode game with bad combat and dumb looking enemies. I hated it. It's slow. It's slower than it looks. It doesn't feel good at all. Like I watched this trailer and this is why I got it. This looks so much nicer than mine, and it's not me. My computer is very good. But like it's just not that. It ain't him. It ain't him.
This is Lot's Lighthouse of Souls.
Yeah, so I'm disparaging this one.
Yeah, don't bother with this one, listeners. Sorry, Hypernova Games. You get the 2 thumbs down from
me,
everyone's favorite podcast.
I don't know. I mean, there's probably a way they could probably just work on it.
Yeah.
To be fair, I'm sure they could get to a point where it's a lot better. But like the movement and feeling of the camera is really slow and clunky. The combat just isn't as smooth as they make it look. I think that honestly that might even be my biggest gripe is the fact that it looks so good in these screenshots and in this trailer, but then you play it and it's like not even close.
Not all the screenshots. Some of those are like why'd they do that? That's just super blurry.
Yeah,
it's a picture of an enemy that is totally blurry. You can barely see the details on it. It's got a bunch of arrows sticking out of it.
I can tell you exactly what it is because it looks a little funny. This looks a little funny, and that's all that matters. But yeah, very disappointed in that one. Not my bag.
All right. Well, 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
All right, moving on.
Beavergeddon.
Beavergeddon
is a couple of things. It is the reason that we're looking at these on Steam as opposed to YouTube, because for some reason this game only exists on this on this Steam page. I can't find it on YouTube. I can't find it anywhere else.
That's interesting. Don't they have to upload YouTube videos in order to make the Steam trailers?
I don't know. I can't find it anywhere.
It must be like a private channel or something.
Maybe it's because I thought it was called Beavergeddon, not Beavageddon.
Beavageddons. That's Beavageddon.
Maybe that's the issue. I don't know. I feel like it should still autofill. I think Google's gotten to that point, but whatever.
Nah, Google's AI can't tell the difference between spelling anymore.
All right.
So tell me about Beavageddon.
Terrible sound effects and menus. Arcade-style bullet heaven, but it's also a parody of the Killdozer, which is a whole thing on its own that I do not want to get into. It's a roguelite bullet heaven with continuous progression, but it feels kind of weak. Restrictive movement due to the buildings means it's hard to avoid enemies when you're in your weakest points. and you pick like 3 weapons at the start of the game, and then that's kind of it. Not really my thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, this one is. I didn't play the trailer. Like, I don't really get it.
I mean, graphically, it looks like a cheap Enter the Gungeon, but with like animal characters. I like the animal
Kinda.
characters. I
Yeah,
guess.
but you don't see them because you're in the freaking.
Because you're in a
bulldozer.
bulldozer. Why do you pick weapons if you're in a bulldozer? Why
I
don't you
don't
just
know.
bulldoze things?
Well, it's supposed to be a parody of the Killdozer, like literally.
Well, you said you don't want to get into Killdozer, but in a future episode, I'm going to get into Killdozer because I
That's
got
totally
opinions
fair.
on that guy.
I think there's a lot of opinions that you can have on them. My thought on this specifically is I couldn't like survive or win because I would like go to the whole idea at the beginning is you have to go to a building and destroy it, right?
Okay.
So you go to the building and you start destroying it, but then the people around you start attacking you, and the only part of the dozer that you are protected from is the front.
Huh.
So they just like surround you, and you have to turn around, and you don't control any of the guns or anything because it's a bullet heaven.
Huh.
I don't really get it.
You know what this kind of reminds me of conceptually, although it looks completely different and plays much better? Rampage. You ever play that? The classic arcade
I
game?
know of it, but yeah,
It's literally you play as a giant monster, you destroy buildings, you are giant, so it's not like you can avoid the bullets, you're just constantly taking damage from little soldiers and stuff like that. And eventually you have to put in a quarter or else the game is over, because that's basically your time limit, is that health bar and your inability to avoid stuff.
I don't really think it's like that though. At least not intentionally.
Well, that was a classic arcade game. This is a game on Steam. There's no reason they should have a time limit on it.
It doesn't. I don't know. It just. I'm not gonna say it's necessarily bad, but I don't like it.
So out of 5?
I'd say I'm gonna generously give it a 2 because I think there's potential. I think there's gonna be a group of people who like this is one of their favorite games, but it just isn't for me. Abyssus. Pretty fun roguelike arena FPS with very Atlantis-coded steampunky weapons.
Oh, I love these character designs, these diver suits.
Yeah.
Dude, best thing about BioShock were the big daddies and those diver suits, man.
Probably a little too easy, but fun nevertheless. Reminds me of a game I really liked called Dead Link. Yeah, so this is like it's supposed to be a co-op game, but you don't have to play it that way. You just run around with the guns and you shoot people in arenas and you go from arena to arena to arena. That's the game. It's just like a good little time. There's like special abilities you can get that affect your guns. You can do attachments. You can play with friends, obviously. It's just fun. I would say, like, I don't know how much this is going to be worth when it comes out, but I would definitely pay $15 to play it.
Uh-huh.
It's decent. I'd say there's 3 out of 5 for this one. Perfectly okay. I liked it enough. I actually didn't delete it off my computer like I do most of them because I'm going to try playing some more.
So, what this makes me think of is, like, when it comes to small multiplayer indie games,
Yeah.
I swear they're always the kind of thing where you're like on a Discord call with your friends and you all literally decide to buy it then and there, and then you all play it that one night and never again.
That is very literally what happens a lot of the time with me and my friends.
Because, like, the problem is with, like, the multiplayer games, you can't do it by yourself, and there's so many live service options now that are available. Like, it's usually one big AAA experience that everyone is playing, and then every once in a while, everyone just like, okay, let's try out Abyssus.
Let's try out
Oh, this is fun.
Headliners. Yeah, no, it's fun. I really liked it. What I do like about this in particular is that if I wanted to, I could just play it by myself.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I played
It's
it
that
alone.
easy?
Yeah. I played most of all of these alone, and we'll discuss that actually in the next one.
Aesthetically, I really love how this
Yes.
one looks.
It's got that very like ancient Mayan look with the like down to bottom of the sea diver suits. It's dope.
Out of 5?
I said 3 out of 5 earlier.
3 out of 5? Okay.
Yeah. Wildgate. This game looks dope as hell. I did play it, but only a little bit. I couldn't play this one too much because I didn't have as much time, and this one requires a little more time because it's a multiplayer game.
Okay.
What I've written for it is really cool idea. It seems like a fun game that no one would try with me. It also has a cute time even when playing alone.
So what you're saying is I need to try this with you so you can get a proper demo.
I need I need people to play with me, but none of my friends, my other friends, because you're my friend also, obviously.
I'm not an online gamer,
No.
is the thing.
We don't play games together. That's one of the aspects of this. But all the ones I do play games, none of them want to do demos. So every Steam Next Fest, I'm like, here's like 8 games that look really dope. And they're like, yeah, but it's a demo. And I'm like, I know, but you could play it. They don't care.
Combines tactical ship-to-ship combat, eh?
Yes.
That
So
looks very fun.
the idea is that you are in a ship and you have to go to like certain points within a solar system that you have to collect artifacts from. Those artifacts will make your ship better, and there's other enemies in their own ships that you can fight, and you can get onto their ship and you can attack their ship and do everything in there. You can fight them, or you can do ship-to-ship combat like
That's
Guns
dope.
of Icarus.
That's dope.
Dude, it's so cool. It's such a cool idea.
Also,
Why would
it looks
nobody-
gorgeous. I
I
love the
know.
colors.
It's so purple and beautiful. It's such a cool idea for a game. I liked what I played with it, but I have to play it more. I'm gonna say for my rating 4 out of 5, but that
Even
could
though
go up.
you think it could go up.
Well, it's 4 out of 5. You know, all I played was like a single player version of it.
I actually want to try this one just to get a feel for it because it looks nice.
I'm down. It's got multiplayer. I believe when I looked at the demo specifically, because I think it has its own Steam page. Some people were mentioning that the like hyper weapons are a little bit too strong.
Mm-hmm.
So balance wise, it's probably not at the best point, but it's also in open beta.
I don't expect a video game that hasn't even been released yet to be perfectly balanced.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know. All right. Wildgate. Clover Pit. This is like me and our mutual friend Nathan's bag. I actually didn't play this one during Next Fest because the demo's been out for a while. I played this one like a couple weeks ago. It is a roguelike. Actually, I'll just read the thing. Played before the Next Fest, seems like a really cool slot machine roguelike, similar in nature to Balatro, but similar in style to Buckshot Roulette or Inscription.
It's style. So
Style.
graphically, for our our listeners
not
only,
watchers.
it's got a almost like old-fashioned PS1 kind of aesthetic, like
Yep.
like 3D polygons but with low-resolution textures. I love that look. I love
And
that look.
What I really
Very grimy.
when I was playing, one of the things that noted me, because it's very similar in nature to Inscription, was the way that the camera moves. It's very stiff, very singular, but it feels smooth to go in between, and it's so cool. It's a dope idea. I'm really excited for it to come out, but it's fun. I'd recommend this one.
I've also been loving the weird roguelikes and deck builders that
Dude,
have been
you're
coming
gonna
out lately.
love one of these. Did I even put it up here?
Because like out of all the game types
Wait.
I like, I dislike roguelikes quite a bit, and
I
yet
do know
I got addicted to Balatro, and then after you showed me, what was that other one?
Nubby's Number Factory.
Yeah, Nubby's Number Factory. I'm like, God damn it, this is how they hook me.
I missed 2. I missed 2 games. They're gonna come in late. I don't know how I missed them, but I did. So we'll add this one to the queue. View page.
Enter a valid date. Oh, this one you've got to be at least 18 to play. This game depicts strong violence, blood, and some nudity.
We're not gonna talk about this one yet. I'm just getting these ones queued up.
Yeah, I'll note it when we get to that one on the list.
And then the other one, which you reminded me of, and I realized wasn't in here, is this one. Don't talk about it yet.
Oh, I'm gonna be excited to talk about that one.
I know.
Okay,
you are.
okay. So
So-
back to Clover Pit.
Clover Pit is so cool. For me, this is a 5 out of 5, easy. But that's only because I really like deck building these games like this.
Mm-hmm.
I also love Balatro. I love Peglin. I love W's Number Factory. These are my jam. I am excited to play more of this one. Is there another one Oh no, it's right there. All right, the next one is Mytherium.
Oh, 5 out of 5.
5 out of 5. 5 out of 5. Blop, and we go here. Oh, pause that. Oh, that's the demo. Let's go Carnage. He's like a big streamer.
Oh, I didn't know they showed streamers on the Steam
Yeah.
pages. That's nuts.
They do it for this at least. I know that.
Dude, it's been so long since I was like a regular Steam gamer.
Yeah. Mythrealm. Kind of bland-looking action game with chivalry-style combat. Seemed promising until the first 30 minutes. Was a third-person platformer with stiff controls. Might be a skill issue, but I wasn't having enough fun to stick around and get better. So, I don't want to... My biggest problem with this game, honest to God, is probably the trailer. Because look at this cool trailer.
Yeah, it
man.
looks okay.
This is dope. You're running around, you're going through this, and like I don't mind the art style, its aesthetics. It does look a little bland, but I can get over that easy with fun times.
Yeah, it's kind of doing this almost cell shaded kind of look in order to make the graphics a little bit
Yeah.
cleaner.
And I wouldn't have a problem with that. The issue is that, like, I'm in the game, I get in, I do the tutorial, and then it's like, for like 30 minutes of my 40 minutes of gameplay, I'm in a fucking dungeon, just jumping onto things, and it's difficult to tell what's what because the cell shading isn't like dynamic and looks different for walls versus what you can jump on.
Oh, so they have you start off doing platforming,
Yeah,
and they didn't focus on the environmental design.
not as much. Like the first room isn't that bad, and then you get to like the next part and you fight some enemies, and like the combat is chivalry-like, which I don't even understand why.
Mm-hmm.
So
Especially because it says Souls-like on the
yeah, it's not that.
user-defined tags. Everything's a Souls-like now.
Yes, that's gonna be a theme. Don't worry.
Oh my goodness.
But it didn't grab me, and then like the fact that like so long was in these annoying jumping puzzles, I got bored. So I don't want to say this is bad. I'd give it a 3 because I think that there's potential here if you're into it.
The screenshot that it stopped on has this fucking manticore in it, and it looks so good. I love how this manticore looks.
Like that's the annoying thing is it looks so cool.
Like most of these graphics don't look great, but every once in a while there's a design here I love.
Look at that guy.
Yeah, I love him. I love that
Giant
guy.
Frost Giant. He's dope. I like aspects of it. I don't want to shit on it. I just like the beginning for what I had to play was so annoying.
Chivalry is a weird combat system to steal. This is a single-player game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, like, Chivalry is a mass combat simulator, isn't it? Like, big teams of people against each other. And it's meant to be kind of clunky because it's meant to make it feel like realistic medieval combat.
It's one of those
sieges.
things where if you get good at it, you're not going to be stoppable, but I don't really know why they do it here. It also doesn't feel that good in the game, but, like, that's kind of here or there. I think it's got hope. I'm not, like, dogging on it or anything, but, like, it certainly isn't for me, at least not right now.
Mm-hmm.
My rating is 3 out of 5.
Got it.
Next one, Moro's Protocol. Boop. Boomer shooter-esque roguelike. I appreciated the lack of a tutorial, but the additional lack of tooltips was not great. Didn't know how to heal for the first 2 runs. Pretty decent overall, but it's quite hard and can go a long time without much change. So yeah, it looked even cooler in the fucking trailer than it does playing it, but no tutorial. So you start off, you basically have no idea what's going on, and I actually really like that because that means I can just figure out most of it.
Yeah.
90% of a tutorial is telling you stuff that 90% of the audience already knows. Just prepare for that 10%.
I prefer a game that's capable of being figured out without a tutorial. Not every game can be, but, like, typically if it's simple enough that it can, that's my wheelhouse game.
For me, I think my issue is like consciously, I assumed that health was pick upable, but it's not. You actually have a syringe that you put in, and you pick up stuff to put in the syringe.
Okay, so there's an active healing
Yes,
button.
and I didn't realize that for a while, and then I accidentally hit it. I was like, oh.
Very unboomer shooter in that way.
Yes. It's pretty cool. I liked a lot of aspects of it, but it is really difficult. Because you also only start with this sword that's on the screen right now. You just have a sword, and then you have to find guns and stuff as you go through. I think it has potential, like again. So I'd give it like a 4 because it's more my speed than Myth Realm. But
for our listeners, the aesthetics are once again that kind of low poly PS1 style thing, but it's mixed with a lot of neon lights and a lot of bloom effect. So it is very gorgeous looking.
It kind of looks like Dead Space almost.
Yeah, like a low-res Dead Space that's super colorful.
This is also cool. Everyone loves a tech tree, you know?
See, for me, like, I really like boomer shooters, specifically.
That's one of the reasons I brought it up.
And, like, boomer shooters excel when you've got, like, really interesting and fun weapons to play with, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, Half-Life 2 to me is that transition between, like, the old-fashioned boomer shooter and, like, the modern FPS.
Because most of what you have is a shotgun, a pistol, and your crowbar. And all
Yeah,
that,
but it was back when you had every single weapon mapped to its own number key, and you had 8 different weapons, and, like, you always start with, like, 3 basics, and then the rest go insane. Here's an antlion gland that you use to summon a bunch of bugs to attack them, you know? That kind of stuff. Love that kind of stuff. Anything cool in this one?
Well, you can see in the trailer, but I didn't find anything specific. Like, there's that thing, there's that.
These are just machine guns, shotguns, sniper rifle. I like those dual-wielded, what was it, SMGs? That was kind of cool.
One of these was that. That one was a creature.
Oh, that thing is weird. It's got like, this alien gun with, like, teeth and spikes coming out of it and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that design.
But I didn't find much when I was in there. I didn't want to spend too much time on it, but I was into it. I think I'd come back to this one. I also didn't delete this one off my computer.
Out of 5?
4.
Okay.
Strike and Resist. It's another Souls-like game, but this time no stamina. The lack of stamina makes early enemies a bit easy, but besides that, I think a little time to cook and some positive critical feedback. With a little time to cook and some positive critical feedback, I think this game could be really cool. It needs some music, some more dynamic lighting, and to slow down some of the animations a bit, and the controls are a bit stiff, but I do think it could be a really cool game if the developers put in the effort. It's okay at the moment. Wouldn't pick it up for a couple. I would pick it up for a couple bucks, but I am hopeful that with some time in the oven, that my base price will raise. So I don't know, and I know it doesn't look super amazing and special or anything, because it's very low poly and dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I genuinely think you just make a little bit better lighting, a little bit more interesting lighting. You can fix almost all the problems of this game.
There was an exterior shot of like a castle with like blue tile roofs and like spires and stuff. The art direction looked fantastic in that one shot.
Yeah.
Most of this is just like I'm trying to think of like a comparative game to like name this. It's a low poly,
Dark
but
Souls 1.
it's not like that PS1 style look I described before though. This is a high resolution, zero textures, low poly 3D game.
It's Play-Doh.
Yeah.
It's a Play-Doh-esque aesthetic. It's kind of common in certain games.
The main character looks bad. The enemies look great. I love that knight with the 2 swords. That's a cool fucking design.
He's really hard to fight. But it's a roguelike, which I think is kind of cool. I think it's supposed to be anyway. Unless I misread.
How was the gameplay?
It was okay. It's a little stiff, and my biggest gripe is a lot of the animations are way faster than you're expecting to be, which doesn't feel like it'd be a problem. And like gameplay wise, it wasn't, but logistically, it's like I need these to be a little bit more fluid.
Yeah, I'm betting. So if it's stiff and the animations are fast, you need those transitions to be cleaned up.
Yeah. But I really, really want this to do. I really want this to do better. Or not do better, but I really want this to get the time it needs to cook, because it's such a cool idea.
Yeah, that shot right there.
That's so dope.
Doesn't that looks beautiful? They're excellent use of colors. That's where the lighting is actually working how you want it to.
Exactly.
It's those interior shots. Well, that one's okay with the fires.
Yeah, but like in the actual game, when you're like here, when your camera is behind this dude, it's not even.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even the same thing, you know. Like this doesn't look like anything really.
Yeah, that looks bad.
And it's like this is the aesthetic stuff I would ordinarily never care about, but in this game, it just feels like you need this.
Ideally, like the graphics get completed at the end, because the gameplay is what's important.
The UI is also not super great. It's a little bit confusing in this, but it does have controller support, which is really helpful.
All right.
I would say 4 out of 5. I want them to cook more. I think it's cool. I want it to be better, but for the moment, I'd say 4 out of 5 is reasonable. All right, so this is like the one that I'm like most excited for.
I did not know you liked Karam that much.
Crom.
Is that how it's pronounced?
What is that?
It's a disc flicking game.
Karam.
Karam.
I also didn't know I did. But similar to Lords of Disconia, Flick Disc Roguelike was very much up my alley. Highly recommended wishlisting for me when it comes out. Very fun. Can't wait to play more of it. Yeah, no, this is just for me, bro.
Pirate themed disc flicking combat game. Oh my god, that looks fun.
It's so good.
The animations are incredible. So they got these little disc with like it looks like there's a little character model on it, and they're rocking back and forth from like, you know, the character balancing. And you get a little flip.
Oh, that was the enemy.
And it's what is it, like Aztec and pirate themed?
Yep.
Like
look, did you see the frog girl?
This fucking 10 out of 10. We're not even gonna rate this one out of 5. I want to play this one real bad. This
one I loved immediately because I was like, they're doing it. They're finally making more disc-based video games.
Flickshot Rogues, developed by Butter by the Fish, publisher Noodle Cake. So I'm going to probably pick this one as the one I am most anticipating out of you showed me. I know there's a lot of games still left, but I don't think they're going to beat this one.
To be super clear, I didn't wishlist a lot of these. This one I absolutely did immediately. I wishlisted then beat the demo. It's so good. I don't even know if you noticed the frog girl.
You pointed, but I didn't see it before.
Frog girl. Her thing is that if she gets enemies within her range, her frogs attack.
This one looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one to come out. Q3, it's going to take forever, but I'm so excited.
6 out of 5?
Yeah, dude, 10 out of 5? I don't know. Now it's time for this one.
Okay.
The other most anticipated.
So this is one of the ones that he had was looking. He didn't have prepared and had to find open it up in the Steam store.
Yep.
And I saw this screenshot, and I immediately wanted to speak out. So line goes up.
Yes. Well, okay. Let me read it. Aggravatingly clever.
Well, we didn't actually say it. The name of this game is Insider Trading.
Insider Trading. Aggravatingly clever. It's a Balatro-style game about stock investment. Use your cards to manipulate the stocks. You can get a random set of 10 cards in your deck that move the line up and down as you go. You must stack your deck with bulls and bears to manipulate the market to benefit with you within 5 days. Sets up a simple premise, but then adds modifications after each week. Like, for example, short selling and price limitations that keep you interested. Not super hard. Beat the demo in about 20 minutes, but I really enjoyed it. I hate stock trading. This is a thing that's about me.
Have you ever stock traded?
A little bit.
Or do you hate it conceptually?
Just hate the concept. This is just the whole thing I don't like. A lot of aspects of it I feel are bad. This game's fucking dope though. Because here's the thing. You can see how it kind of works here a little bit. For viewers or not viewers, turn on the video.
Yeah, I'm sorry, podcast listeners. You need to watch this one. Or at least open up Steam and look up all these games yourself.
So at the bottom here, you can see these cards. You get a set of these every round, like I was saying. And the green ones increase the pot. The red ones go down, right? Simple. So for your first run, you get rid of all the red ones, because why would you want those?
Uh-huh.
And then it introduces short selling. And now you need to do red, because red's better than green. And you're like, oh no!
Line goes up, line goes down, line goes up again. Graphically, it looks like old PC displays, like you know the movie Alien, how the computers look in that. It looks like that, but with like a bar graph, line graph thing on the top.
This is the exact kind of game I'd make myself, because I love menu-based games.
This looks like the Balatro follow-up.
It is definitely like a Balatro-esque kind of game,
but with contemporary politics involved.
I mean, not really. Like I have a problem in my own brain with trading or insider trading, but at the same time, a game I want to develop myself that doesn't exist in any way is a game about Bitcoin mining, which I also hate even more.
I hate that so much.
You'll love the concept when I explain it to you in a few months when I put more effort into it.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a dope. 5 out of 5, easy. I think this is another one I should add to my wish list.
Yeah, The thing is, that disc game looks fantastic. Like, that just looked good. It looked like a full game, almost done, very polished, lots of fun. But, like, in terms of style, this is more my thing than that.
Exactly, yeah. I agree with you 100%, and I loved both. But they're both so cool. Next one. This one is interesting to me because this is not usually my bag. I only really checked it out because of what I saw in the trailer.
Holston.
It's a very Polish game. Very weird. It's sort of like Silent Hill.
Oh, wow. Sorry, this trailer.
Yeah, no, look at the way the gameplay works. Did you see that transition? It goes from isometric looking to third person over the shoulder.
Listeners, I can't describe how this one looks. This is something I've never seen a game look like this.
Neither have I. That's one of the reasons I downloaded it. And I'm not really that into like horror games and survival horror and all that stuff, but this is kind of like Silent Hill meets Resident Evil.
Do you know the game what is it? Fear and Loathing, I think? No,
Yeah.
Fear and Hunger.
Fear and Hunger.
Yeah, you know that one? It's like this
Vaguely.
super hardcore RPG.
Vaguely?
Well, the graphics of it. So, this is a 3D game with 3D and 2D apparently from that one shot, and isometric.
Yep.
Wow, this is graphically, this is the most interesting looking game I've seen in such a long time.
I was blown away when I saw that transitions. I was like, oh, I had to try this.
The big character models for the dialogue scenes, you know how they have the little thumbnail of the character.
Yeah.
That's what reminds me of Fear and Hunger graphically, because the character portraits in that look like that. But these,
Yeah, it looks cool, right?
this looks like a.
Looks like art.
So when Resident Evil was originally,
Like a camera-based...
a tank-controlled fixed
yeah.
camera thing, and then they moved on to 3D, and now the newest ones have all been first-person. This looks like it is trying to evolve the original Resident Evil
Yes,
concept.
exactly.
It's like, okay, we want those fixed camera angles for those beautiful shots, but we also want to have good combat, so we want to do behind-the-shoulder first-person aiming and stuff.
Yeah, but
And
then-
the way it's transitioning back and forth between the two looks... wow!
Okay. I'm going to read this because I know there's one problem with this game that I have to talk about.
Got it.
Interesting mix of isometric perspective and third-person gunplay. Kind of like Resident Evil 4, but more dynamic. Polish survival horror game seems to be neat, but suffers with the transitions from isometric to third person. Third person is a smooth camera movement, but with the isometric view is very restrictive and stiff, makes the transitions very jarring. Definitely going to be someone's favorite game of all time. 65% chance it gets a video essay about it.
Yeah, this is a game that's gonna get a video essay about it.
Yeah, but the only issue I have with what I was playing is that when you go into your third person, you're using your mouse, and it's just like, whoop, whoop, very simple, very quick, easy. And then you go back out, and the camera movement is not in any way, shape, or form smooth and around. You have to do between 1 and 4. So you have to switch between camera movement, and the transition is just so jarring and annoying every time. I think somebody could get used to it, and there's probably a way to make it a little better. But I kind of think that if they just made the outside camera like free movement instead of so restrictive, it would improve so much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's such a it's so cool.
Yeah, this is not a polished looking game. It's not a.
It's Polish.
It's Polish, not polished. But something about Eastern European devs, man. They come up with the weirdest but coolest shit.
Oh, also, like, you find so many cigarettes in this video game, it becomes comical.
So wait, what do cigarettes do? Are they like a healing item?
Just don't even know. I didn't look at them very closely, to be honest. But I found like 30 packs of cigarettes in the short part of the game I played.
Later on, you find out it's like a currency.
I think it is a currency. I think somebody sells you bullets for cigarettes.
That's so good.
But it's cool. I really just wish they would fix the camera, at least the outside one.
This is one that people need to check out.
Absolutely. It's really dope. I would say easy 4 out of 5. The only reason it's not a 5 is because the camera it's genuinely very annoying when you're shooting and then you go up and then you're like kind of forced into a movement and it's like ugh.
But is it so bad that you're like, this was a bad idea, they shouldn't have done that?
Not at all. I just want them to improve it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a really dope idea, and I think that they can easily...
that's got to be a cutscene. Still,
it is a cutscene, yeah.
The graphic, even in these cutscene graphics, I love how they look. And so it's a third person, and you can see behind the guy's shoulder, his hair is colored 2D. Like it looks like a sprite, but you can tell it's a 3D model when he actually turns his head.
Yeah, dude, the transition I don't even understand, to be honest, because it looks like they drew 90% of it, and then they were like, all right, let's get in there. I don't understand how they did it. It's so dope. Nothing but love. And then there's that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so there's like we're still talking about Holston. I want to keep talking about Holston.
Fine.
They just did a shot. It was a side-scrolling perspective, from the side, complete 2D. The animation and movement look just like old Prince of Persia, like old rotoscoped movement, like super, super smooth. And it's transitioning between that and isometric and behind-the-shoulder third person.
Yeah, man.
And that's a top-down shot.
I didn't even know that one was there. Yeah, no, this is, like, I would describe this one as just fucking art. This is someone who understands the medium and wants to express it, dude.
Yeah, this
So
is
dope.
probably not going to end up being the funnest game that's going to come out, but it is going to get a video essay about it.
Absolutely. Ben's gonna make it.
I'm not going to make it because I'm not going to play it because I don't like games like this.
I don't usually either, but it looks so cool.
I just want games like this to succeed. I want the people who like these to get them as much as they can.
This is gonna be somebody's favorite game of all time. They can recommend it to everybody they know, and nobody will play it.
All right, we got to move on.
4 out of 5. The Royal Writ.
Royal Writ. W-R-I-T.
Addicting roguelike deck builder where your cards advance in columns. You must get relics and multipliers to win. Dripping with style, PBS kids cartoon style that is. I think it looks cool and the animation is smooth and dope.
I love the thumbnail title on the right side.
Got a little gun.
Well, specifically how this character is drawn. So he's a crow, and his face is from the side, so you're looking at him his profile. But both of his eyes are on the side of his head, kind of like a Picasso painting.
Yeah.
And he's a king. He's crown and a thing, and for some reason he's just shooting a gun.
It's so.
It's like an old blunderbuss. It's very silly looking.
It's a very silly, weird-looking game. It's very addictive when you start it because, like, the idea is you put cards in columns and they advance every round, and as they advance, they get stronger. And if they hit the actual end of it, they die. So you're trying to like add multipliers and single digits, similar in nature to Balatro. And in the meantime, you can get food, which you can give to them, which gives them abilities. You can give your his royal decrees, which also add stuff. It's really cool, and I like played this one for like 2 hours when I should not have, but I was really into it, and I love the art style.
Yeah,
it's so cool. Look at
that looked great.
It reminds me of another game.
The animation is very good. Like these are very simple designed characters, but like you'll see them turn, you'll see them move, and it looks incredible.
I'm gonna look up one game to also talk to you about because I think you like it. So, did I write it wrong?
Is there an E?
Might be an E. Yeah, it reminds me of this game.
Dice-O-Mancer.
This is Royal Writ is definitely a 5 out of 5 because I just played the crap out of it, liked it a lot. This is a really cool game. Also, it's in a first-person style, but it's a card game. Looks very much like a Tom and Jerry-esque thing. You get like a D20.
Now, this one also has a demo, but this isn't one of the games you played during this.
This is a game I own.
Oh, okay.
You can just buy it. One of the things you can do that they just did there is you get special dice that you can affect any number in the game with. So if you see a number, you can change like how much something costs, the health of an enemy. It's really cool. It's a really fun roguelike game.
So for our listeners, if you can get Dice-O-Mancer now, and if you like it, then you can get sorry, what was the title of the last one?
A Royal Writ.
A Royal Writ in the future.
This one's a lot like more like Slay the Spire because there's characters, different styles you can do. But I just thought that this game's cool, and nobody ever talks about it. Vane, basically first-person Project Zomboid with all the effort and work that would entail. Cool idea, but much like Zomboid, a little boring and aimless alone.
Tell me about Project Zomboid.
You've not played it.
No, I've not.
Okay.
So
Project Zomboid is if you want to play and pretend like you're in the post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse.
I feel like there's a lot of those.
This one is that one. This one is the real one.
The one.
In all of those games, in every game that does this, there's restrictions. In Project Zomboid, there really isn't. Like, my buddies were playing a couple weeks ago. One of them built a house in the game, like from scratch.
Like gathered the materials, built a house, and this is a massively multiplayer online game, right?
No, it's a local multiplayer, or not local, but like small multiplayer.
Got it.
Just to give you, just because apparently you don't know the game, I'm just gonna look it up real quick. Everybody probably knows this one.
No, at a certain point, I just stopped paying attention to upcoming zombie games because
that makes sense.
Like they exploded for a little while. I think it was when Dead Island was coming out?
Yes,
was around the time I stopped. That's when I just gave up.
This is what Project Zomboid looks like.
Oh, okay. So it's like an isometric, smaller-looking game. I was expecting like the last one, a first-person 3D game.
No, this is very isometric, very small.
So that other one is very ambitious.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I can see what you mean.
Both of these games are really cool.
Vane
is the game that we're really talking about. They're both really cool. This one, like you can if you're looking at the screen, you can see the level of effort that you can go to. You can build your own base. You can have farming. There's electrical. There's a whole lot of stuff you can do. It's dope, and it works like Project Zomboid, where if you need to like read something, if you want to increase a skill, you can read.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool. It's just like my problem is I have very little idea on what to do in these kinds of games.
My issue with massive simulator lifestyle games is that, like, I mean, they're the kind of games that are hugely ambitious, and honestly, you could keep on developing them forever because,
much.
like, if you're trying to recreate reality as best you can, you're never gonna ever get there.
Nope.
But I think of Star Citizen, and I'm like, it's not actually worth it. Those kinds of games aren't worth it to me.
Well, I'd say there's a pretty big difference between like Vane and Project Zomboid with Star Citizen.
Oh yeah, very apologies to Ramjet Studios for comparing their game to Star Citizen. They do not deserve that.
No. Star Citizen cost $10 billion. This game costs nothing at the current moment. I think it's cool. I think there's going to be people who like it, and if I had friends to play this game with, I'd probably be more into it. But at the moment, I'd say at least a 3 out of 5. It's just there's not much I could do with it.
I would say for anyone who wants that giant simulator lifestyle game,
Probably a 10 out of 5, bro.
Well, like,
pretty cool.
start look at Vane, give it a shot, and like if you like that, then support the dev because the only way that's going to happen is if you get that passionate dev and you give them all the time and money they need.
Yeah.
That passionate dev.
I will say there is one issue I was having was that settings were not working properly.
Oh no good.
Yeah, it was mostly just mouse settings. I wanted to change the mouse. What's the word when you're moving your mouse?
The DPI.
Yeah, I guess basically the DPI. I wanted to change the DPI to be a little slower, but it wasn't working properly. But besides that, I'd try it some more, I guess, till I can get something out of it.
All right, moving on.
Gravethorn. I actually played this one like right before I left today.
2D platformer that combines Souls-like and Metroidvania elements. Now, you would think this would be up in my wheelhouse.
Sure would.
But here's the thing. This is a dime a dozen kind of thing in indie developers, and like trying to figure out which ones are the best ones feels pointless to me. You know?
2D Souls-like has a cool aesthetic. Play as an inquisitor with memory loss in a town overrun by demons. Go into on the big evil and get memories back. Seemed like a cool game with gameplay. Seemed like a cool game. Plays fun. Probably needs a little bit more time for me. I probably need to play a little bit more. I think my biggest gripe at the moment with the game is that aesthetically it's like kind of cool, but then you get to like this area.
It's kind of like, well, you mean the end of dungeon? I'm saying I think a lot of this looks really okay. So my first thought was the game Blasphemous.
Yeah, Blasphemous. There's also Sultan Sanctuary.
Well, Blasphemous specifically because this looks like it's trying to do Blasphemous. It's this kind of dark, gritty Souls-like Metroidvania, and it's got a very, very dark aesthetic, and also the HUD kind of looks similar too. Now that I'm looking at it, but
Blasphemous is so much, just dripping with so much
Blasphemous
style.
is one of the most beautiful
beautiful aesthetically, yeah.
In terms of just the quality of the work, like the sprite work and the design. You've got that Spanish Catholic, super gory aesthetic.
Got the baby.
And like that takes it to 11, and this is a little weak in comparison.
Yeah, man. Like, you compare that to this, it's not even really fair. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
This is just the regular.
Now, Blasphemous is a successful game that's already gotten a sequel. It's a little fair to say what was it called? Hell Is Us?
Hell Is Us? No, that's not it. That's not this.
Hell Is Us is a different one.
Yeah, it's
Gravethorn. Yeah, I mean, it's still in development. It'll probably improve the looks of it. Oh, the gun is different. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is trying to be the
Bloodborne version.
the Bloodborne to Blasphemous's
gun is
Dark
how
Souls.
you parry, yes.
Yeah, out of someone who cares a lot about this genre, this one isn't doing much for me just from the glance.
I will say 2 out of 5 for me. I think there's some potential, but like, you know.
Definitely potential. And the thing is that I don't go out of my way to play every single Metroidvania.
No.
I really do not. There are people who do, though. I'm sure they'll pick this up, and there's something to be enjoyed for that audience.
I just fucking skipped one. I don't know how I did that. Next one we're talking about is definitely Hell Is Us. So I picked this one up because it looks pretty cool. This is another Dark Souls. Specifically, it is. Alan Wake meets Dark Souls. Very personal, interesting dialogue system. Mediocre Souls gameplay. Feels a bit hard, mostly because I don't know the controls. May come back. Yeah, I guess I didn't really get deep into this one. This one is cool. This one, the story actually kind of drove me in, because like
The universe is
yeah.
like, okay, I want to describe the thumbnail of all things because it's so interesting.
Yeah.
It's this classic kind of fantasy pose of a guy in profile with a sword over his shoulder, and he looks like he's got one wing.
Mm-hmm.
Except it's not fantasy. It is a modern aesthetic, modern sci-fi.
If you look-
He's wearing a hoodie with like a baseball cap underneath it.
Yep.
He's got a laser sword. That wing is like a metal
That's
engine.
a drone.
It's a drone, and it's
Yeah.
on his back. The way that picture looks so cool.
I genuinely think there's a lot of cool things. I wanted you to see this character. Look at that guy.
Oh my God! Look at that chin. It
Yeah. There's cool here.
almost looks like Watch Dogs 1. This character, you know,
little bit.
That kind of like the coat and everything, and
The main character he looks like that. He looks fucking weird.
the super curly hair. Was not expecting that when he took the
I
hood off.
know. But like the beginning of this game is that you're like a part of the UN, and then you leave the UN at one point, and you go escape to go find your parents. It's a whole thing, but it's cool. It's got a cool fucking aesthetic and-
modern day setting, weird science fiction stuff, weird alien science fiction. Like there were like these guys that were all white and had big black holes for faces, kind of like the Spot from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Is that what he's called, the Spot?
something like that. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a Hideo Kojima type style. of
Yeah.
game.
I can see that.
I am intrigued by it. I will definitely. I'm gonna have to talk about a couple more games next week, but not nearly as many.
We could just have an extra long episode if we have enough time to record.
No, we can't because I have to actually play them.
Ah.
There's like a couple I wasn't able to play in time. But yeah, it looks so cool, and it plays fine enough. Like the combat's a little clunky, but I think it's like deal withable. It's just so nice and cool looking.
I do want to say, because I'm sensing a pattern here with all of these
Souls-likes?
Souls-likes. I'm doing air quotes right
Sure,
here.
a lot.
So, like, do you know what made Dark Souls like a phenomena?
You've probably told me, but go ahead and tell me again.
It's not that the Dark Souls' gameplay is like amazing or super innovative or anything like that.
No.
It's just that during that era, games were for the most part very,
Easy.
very easy.
Oh yeah.
And Dark Souls was very different. Like most games were going for this like kind of light, fast, fluid kind of movement with lots of flashy colors and combos and stuff. And Dark Souls is slow and heavy and dark, you know? And like of all the things you copy from Dark Souls, it should be the level design. Because
Yeah.
that's what makes it good, not the gameplay. The gameplay is simple. The gameplay is effective. It is not anything special. Dark Souls is good because it has great level design.
I would like to make one slight point.
Okay.
One thing I particularly really like about Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Demon Souls, all those games, there's no other game where you feel like you're really good at playing a sword with the sword. Like,
Where you feel like you're good at it.
yeah, like to me anyway, because like when you're playing something like Devil May Cry, it doesn't feel as if you're throwing your sword the right, because your timing doesn't matter as much.
No, you're just mashing a button.
But
You're
when
not
you-
thinking about it as
Exactly.
you're not immersed.
But when you're playing Dark Souls or Night Rain, it really feels like when you hit the button at the right time and you get them, or you dodge or you parry, it feels so much better
Yeah.
than a lot of other combat systems. My main pivot point would be the Batman Arkham system.
Because that's as opposite as you can get.
As
That is,
opposite you can get.
press button to do Batman.
That's all of a sudden it's like, oh, he's about to hit me, button. He's about to hit me, button. I'm gonna hit him, button. It just doesn't feel the same, but it feels so good to be good at Dark Souls. Especially when you get that like flow state and you're just like dodging everything and you're getting out and you're parrying and you're doing your stuff. It's so cool. I think that part of the combat's really dope, but I also don't feel that way with a lot of at least the first beginning attempts at recreating it, like the original Lords of the Fallen.
Oh my god.
The original Lords of the Fallen was ass. The new Lords of the Fallen's dope, but the original one was ass. This one, I think I really want to come back to this. I think there's cool things here. and I might just play it for the story alone, to be honest, because like it was one of the very few ones where I skipped through the story, and like the beginning of the game is like you're being interrogated, and then you skip that scene, you're running through the woods, and then you skip that scene, and you're like in the woods without your stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So I went back and started again just to get the idea what was going on, and one of the few I was able to do that with. It was cool. 4 out of 5. 4 out of 5, yeah. But a close 4 out of 5. I think it's pretty interesting. I want to get back into it.
Yeah, the world building just from the trailers and the screenshots, this looks like a cool universe to explore.
Right. We have only a couple of games left to talk about, and these are games I have not played but wanted to mention because they're kind of neat, each one.
Okay.
Specifically this one, I have a suspicion that if people are watching this, a lot of them may just know this one.
Dispatch.
So you probably don't know anything about this one.
No, but this looks gorgeous.
This is by the guys who used to be in Telltale.
Sold.
Yep. I will read you. I did not play this one because it is a story-based, highly specifically story-based game, and I don't see a point in doing that in a demo form. Story dialogue-driven comedy game about being a superhero dispatcher. Seems like it could be funny, but I'm not going to play it. It's a slice of a story. There's no point. Mentioned because the game has a lot of buzz around it and it has an all-star cast. The main character, this guy right here,
Yeah.
Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Right?
And, okay, for our listeners, graphically, okay, what was that? I just forgot the name of it. That game that,
Telltale, the Borderlands?
No, not a not a, adventure game. It was an action game that came out recently for Microsoft systems, that got a lot of praise.
Hi-Fi Rush?
Hi-Fi Rush, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like Hi-Fi Rush, like almost exactly
it
that
does.
style. It is very, very clean, cel-shaded aesthetic. Really good art design, really good it looks nice. Looks professional.
I haven't finished with the all-star cast. I did these in...
You got me at Aaron Paul. Who else is in this?
Okay, they're not as cool as Aaron Paul. I did this in order of people I know. Aaron Paul, Moist Critical. He's the Bat. He's this guy.
There's a guy. He's just a normal guy. He's wearing a suit. Oh, and he's got a weird giant bat head.
Yep. I don't know if they have there's a specific point. I think it might be in the trailer. It was so crazy they got him in this.
Okay.
I can't even show it to you. Oh, this part. He says you can eat that Twinkie. If you knew like that bit got spread around a lot.
And for like anyone who's like, if you've ever played The Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, Tales from the Borderlands, if you like good stories in your games,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this one.
It has really good dialogue.
I'm just gonna get this one. I loved those games.
Laura Bailey's in it.
Seriously?
Yes. Jacksepticeye, Matt Mercer. There's actually more down here, I think.
This is not an indie experience.
These people are all in it. Yeah, Aaron fucking Paul. I was like, what? I thought I recognized the voice, and I checked him out. This guy, he's been in stuff. I can't remember his name exactly. I think it's down here. But, yeah. It's cool. I haven't played it because I'm not going to play a fucking demo of a story game. I don't understand the point of that. But I'm going to probably check it out when it comes out. I think it's going to be really dope.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get this one.
Jump Ship. Very similar to Wildgate. It is a like 4-person PvE combat game where you run around in a ship and you can go out of the ship, you can go on planets and everything. I didn't play it because I don't have friends who play games with me.
So, there's one thing in this trailer that looks special, and that is the free flying in outer space. Like not in a ship, but like a guy in a flight suit flying in outer space, zero gravity. That's the only thing that looked really unique. Otherwise, it just looks good.
Yep.
Highly professional looking.
Looks cool, but requires 4 players to play, and no one will ever play demos with me. Sci-fi mission games where you fly ships, spacewalk, and explore. Has ground and ship battles. Kind of looks like high-def Pulsar Lost Colony. Probably more like Void Ship. I'll look both of those up for your benefit, Ben. Pulsar. Me and the boys got really into this one at one point. Very interesting ship combat where you go around. This is literally like you're playing a space game where you run around planets, but it's like 4 people and you all operate a ship.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And then Void Crew is like the same concept.
I wonder what was the first of those indie games where it's like, okay, it's a multiplayer, everyone has to work on the same ship or airship or submarine or whatever, because that's like a whole genre of indie.
I would potentially guess I don't know the name of it. There was a Star Trek one that did that.
Was it Artemis is the one you're thinking about? Because that's the one I was thinking of, because Artemis is pretty old.
That's not on this, is it? Artemis.
I guess it's not on Steam.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think I'm thinking of the same game.
I was lucky enough to play it in a computer lab while I was visiting I think it was Penn State campus, and we had like the big smart monitor like built. What am I saying? Whiteboard screen was like the main display that the captain had, but everyone had their own computer, and they could have the science officer and the the weapons guy and the engineer and everything.
Yeah, this is the game I was thinking of, because this is a game.
Yeah, that's the one I played, Artemis. That's from 2013, dude.
You don't even like see the outside of the ship. I don't think 90% of the time. You're literally just working on your system.
There's like I said, it's a whole genre of everyone like controlling a part of the ship, and they're all indie games. I'm wondering what it's gonna take for. Oh wait. You know what? I just realized. What's that pirate one that I've never played?
Are you thinking of Skull and Bones?
Maybe. Everyone all control a pirate ship? Never mind then.
Oh,
When is it AAA Space gonna make this?
You're thinking of Sea of Thieves.
Is that how that one works?
Kinda. It's more like one person controls the steering of the ship, and other people can control the. But that's an actual ship game.
Sea of Thieves though is hugely popular. I imagine that like the AAA Space could make one of these games.
Sea of Thieves is hugely popular because of Summit 1G. I think it's him specifically. So he discovered the best way to actually play this game is not to work it like a pirate game, but it is to get onto an enemy ship without them realizing, hide using the emotes, because some of them can like lay down, and then you wait until they do something, and then you steal all their shit and leave.
What?
That is the appeal of the game.
Well, if everyone does that, then how do you get anything done?
It's very difficult to find people. They hide in the environment. You can't tell they're there. That's the fun part that's what the fun of the game is. And like all of the clips of it are usually him like hiding somewhere, maybe in the crow's nest, and he sees that they got like this special treasure chest. He's like, he takes it, puts it into the gives it to the guy on the island, and he gets credit for it.
Ridiculous. All right, one more demo to go over.
Yep, this one is so I didn't play this one.
Rainbow Cloud, a gay RPG, and the thumbnail is just filled with tons of shirtless buff dudes with various helmets and hats, and
so
that one's a
Month.
cat man.
So it's Pride Month.
Is he getting spanked?
Yes. I don't know anything about this game.
Graphically,
truly.
It's beautiful. Oh my god, I just realized that little Doge head was a sensor bar.
I don't know anything about this game.
I know someone I'm going to buy it for.
But I saw this and I was like, well, it's Pride Month and this is fucking hilarious, so.
This is very funny. Also, graphically beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Graphically, unironically. Yeah.
This guy really likes shading buff dudes' muscles.
Yeah, he's probably got like a thing going on. But yeah, I was like, I gotta mention that. You can't ignore that.
They certainly have a type. They don't like twinks in this gay game.
Nope. All right, well I don't know anything about it. I saw this today when I was preparing all this. And I was
you just wanted to bring it up on the podcast.
We got to add in the gay role-playing game. It's Pride Month. You can't ignore it.
Everyone, you need to go play Rainbow Cloud, a gay RPG by Baruda Studio.
Yeah, it's probably fun. I don't know.
Probably 10 out of 10.
Let's just assume it's a 10 out of 10. And then this we can talk about in a little bit.
All right. Well, we a couple of episodes ago, we mentioned we wanted to talk more about board games.
Sure did.
And we just found out that one of our absolute favorite board games, like top 3 for both of us,
yeah,
Inish, is got a Kickstarter going on for its next expansion. So we wanted to talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about Inish and why we just love that game so much, I'm sure.
So Inish is a card game that pretends to be a dudes on a map war game.
Yeah, I'd say that's a good way of putting it.
The idea is that you have a set of goals you need to achieve. You have cards in your hand that you can help achieve them. You can also get cards based off of the tiles that you make the map out of, and then you can also get cards that are crazy called Wild Tail cards. Wild Tail?
Epic Tale.
Epic Tale cards. and those do like ridiculous effects that can add to the game. And it's a lot of card counting because you have like 12 cards usually in between 4 or 5 people that you have to memorize. You have to be like, okay, who has this, who has that. And it's just a strategy game of trying to figure out the best way to get to the end goal of the points.
Mm-hmm. Now, what first attracted me to Inish was the theme. For me, theming in board games is actually pretty important. Like, I'm going to be honest, like, I want my game to have a big space adventure setting or a big fantasy thing. I don't care for those, like, little small games and it's like, oh, it's all about quilting or something like that.
Yeah.
And they're usually small and abstract and gameplay is excellent, but, like, the theme is what sells me on a game. That's what makes me want to buy the box. And in this case, the theme is, like, Celtic Irish mythology. And the artwork is all done by Jim Fitzpatrick, who is most famous for being the Che Guevara shirt.
Ah.
The artwork in this game is so fucking astounding.
Yep.
It is this beautiful, psychedelic, hyper colorful, like all these different like Celtic characters and like these insane outfits and these beautiful landscapes.
You get a box.
It's why I back the Kickstarters for that box.
Did you just get the box and the?
Oh no, I'm getting a new copy of the game.
That makes sense. I'm also getting a new copy of the game, but now I wish I hadn't.
Yeah, this is one of the few board games that both of us own a copy of because we love this game so much that
I also got,
we need to just have our own.
I think I got the sleeve pack and the coin pack, I want to say.
Yeah, I skipped the metal miniatures because I didn't want that.
What I should have done is I should have got the box only, this, and the expansion, because I could have taken the box and put it on my wall.
Now, I normally would tell... I don't think I like Kickstarter board games. Most of the time, they're for new IP game, or like new games, usually with like a famous IP like Batman or Hellboy or Fallout or something like that.
Yeah.
And usually they sell people on the Kickstarter by having tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of different miniatures. And the actual game sucks, but you have a lot of cool miniatures, I guess.
What was the game? Cthulhu Wars?
Cthulhu Wars is not a Kickstarter game, though. Cthulhu Wars
is.
It is?
Cthulhu Wars? The game with all the giant minis?
Yeah, well, I mean, it has giant minis, but I didn't know it was a...
I'm almost certain it's...
Well, Cthulhu Wars is actually pretty fun. That's not what I was talking about.
I was going to make the point that it's fun.
No, I was thinking more like the Dark Souls board game, which I actually backed and I got, and the game itself kind of sucks. The miniatures are fine. I've got lots and lots of little Dark Souls characters. That you know how much I love Dark Souls, but it is, for me, the classic case of like, this is not worth it. Cthulhu Wars is actually really good, but it's also super expensive. So I don't know if that's going to be everyone's bag.
Yeah, we like the only reason we were able to play it is because we have a mutual friend who. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we have a mutual friend who's a big fan, has a copy, and has a ton of the expansions. Hey, you're right.
It's definitely Kickstarter. They got $1 million out of 40,000.
$1.4 million. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to compare,
got really cool miniatures.
Compare that to Inish here. Inish got 750,000 out of 23.
So far, 3 days to go from time of recording.
Yeah.
We're not trying to get people to back the Kickstarter. I think it's already got its goal. Yeah. And it's just for an expansion to the game. And typically, like, so Inish, to describe the gameplay a little bit more, dude's on a map. You draft cards between the players. It's got very, very simple, goals of like spreading your guys out or getting into key territories. It is elegant. It is one of the most elegant games we've ever played.
Without any question or doubt. For reference, this is getting its second expansion. Second expansion in 2025. When did this game originally release?
2016. I know that because it came out when I was living in Pittsburgh.
2016. And there's no way that they're going to flub it because it's been so long. They've put so much effort into it. It's going to be so smooth and beautiful.
Well, I don't know. Talking about the last expansion, the thing is that base game of Inish is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You can't change any rules. You can't add anything to it. You can't take it in any way without ruining it. I did try. The expansion adds a bunch of stuff, and it lets you play with more people, which is pretty important. But otherwise, I could play without the Seasons of Inish expansion pretty easily.
I don't think they add altogether that much, except for the harbors But like the seasons specifically, they don't really matter. But everything else they added has been a really great boon in my opinion.
Have you looked into what the new expansion is going to
No,
be adding?
I didn't care because I saw that they were doing it, and I was like, well, I get a new box, I get a new everything. I'm fine with whatever they make me.
So my favorite thing, the way the game board is it's a modular tile system where you draw tiles and you add them to an increasing land map.
Yep.
They're these kind of rough triangle shapes that all slot together, and it is possible to fit a bunch together and leave a tiny little gap in between them that you can't add anything else to. They've made a new tile piece to fit between those gaps, like a special small one. And those ones are going to have like special things you need to control them. Like you need to have the most sanctuaries or something in a territory next to it. So everyone's fighting over like a middle space without actually taking over it, but rather being on the territories next to it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that one looks like it's going to have fun ramifications.
That's pretty dope. I'm pretty much just excited just for the new box because it got like a cool one of those special boxes that like you can modulate.
What I'm going to complain about is that the expansion box, the expansion is called the Nebid. I'm probably pronouncing that Nebid Legacy.
Yeah.
Nemedian Settler. The box is gorgeous.
Yep.
It's this bright red and blue, and it's got this like armored guy with a cape, and his armor scales are all different colors, and his cape is all different colors. It's the best of all the different box designs they've had so far, and they've had 3 so far. And they're going to be coming out with a big box expansion that's going to have the other expansions included, and that's not going to have that art on it. So that's not going to be the box I'm going to be taking around everywhere. Because I'm going to have the big box because I want everything to be in one box.
Can I make one point
Yeah.
toward you? You can take that box that you love so much and you can hang it on your wall.
I didn't buy that one. I bought the big box.
Oh, I also bought the big box. I thought it was going to come with them.
I don't think it's going to come with the empty box. You can just buy the empty box by itself. It has that option.
Well, you can buy the empty box for the big empty box, not the...
Oh, no? Okay, I was confused. That art is so good. That looks gorgeous. That is one of the most gorgeous covers of a board game I've ever seen.
Also, apparently they want to sell a French version, but they need at least 500 backers to be able to do that.
You know what's tragic is that it's a French developer.
Yeah, it is.
Like this game is made in France,
and people in France don't care.
I guess there aren't a lot of French. Well, it is a dudes on a map game. You know, Europeans don't love the tactical games.
It isn't.
It's not a Euro game.
No, it's definitely not a Euro.
Not a Euro game.
Yeah.
Also, it's the Germans that love the board games, not the French.
Oh yeah, that's fair. We are big board game people. We are gonna do board games this week.
Yeah, we do it used to be a weekly board game thing. Now it's bi-weekly because, real life gets involved.
And we barely play board games anymore. But this is one of the all-time best and highly recommended. I want to make sure we talked about it because we wanted to do a thing in our Cursed Lost episode that we'll never talk about again, where we bring in board games and we just bring them up, talk about
Wait,
it.
that was in the Cursed episode?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. I thought when you brought the board game and you were showing the box and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, listeners. You'll never see that one.
No. I might bring the box back because I actually played it now.
Did you like it?
It was okay. I think you'll be into it. It's kind of fun. I don't know how to describe it. I'm really bad at it. I'm terrible at it. But everyone else who played it was really good. Yeah, we wanted to do a thing where we brought games in and showed you because they're dope and we love board games. And this is like one of the all-time best. I was supposed to bring my box in, but I forgot it. There it is. There's that cool art. All right, that's all the stuff I had prepared.
Do we even have enough time left?
Oh yeah, we have like 35 minutes.
Okay.
And if this is a little bit longer, it's fine.
Well, unfortunately, listeners, I'm going to go back to talking about the thing I've been talking about for 4 weeks now.
It doesn't matter.
I mentioned in our last episode I wanted to start reviewing each of the individual games from UFO 50.
Sure did.
Because I find, like, each individual game fascinating on its own in order to really sell this whole collection on itself.
Yep.
And my plan was I'm going to review them as I beat them, hopefully, with a review each week. That's going to depend. I might not actually beat some of these games in a week.
Gonna have this here. I was gonna have this play, but this is a speed run. I don't want that to be. I don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it. So our first game is Barbuta.
Barbosa.
Barbuta.
Barbudu.
I found out literally before we started recording that it is called a barbuta because a barboot helmet is that kind of Mandalorian style helmet that has like the cross
Did you know
cross
that
face guard.
Did you know that you're pronouncing it wrong?
How's it pronounced?
It's pronounced Wingardium Leviosa.
What?
Not Leviosa.
Barbuta. Barbosa. I've
thought
never
that-
been to Barbados.
I thought of that joke a while ago, and I was like, I gotta bring that one in.
Okay. So in the game's mythology, it was developed in 1982 by Thorsten Peterson, who is not a real person. And apparently, he did this in his on-company time, in secret, and nearly got himself fired for it.
Oh.
But the game was a big enough success that the UFO Soft, the fictional company, pivoted into video games because of it. Now, the way Barbuda is designed to make you stop playing it and try something else in the collection.
Oh, I
It is
see.
old-fashioned and very, very hostile. Literally, from the first moment you start playing the game, if you take a single step to the right, you will instantly die from an instant death trap.
Sure will.
Most of the game isn't that mean, but it is slow, it is old-fashioned. It's very much in the style of like an old MSX like computer platforming RPG kind of thing.
I wanted to give an example, but I can only think of Prince of Persia, and that's not a very good example.
Was that for the MSX?
I don't remember.
It doesn't matter. So I did in fact look it up, and the game that it is most similar to is probably Maze of Gallius, which is also the one that
Gallius, okay.
inspired La Mulana, which I mentioned is kind of similar to Barbuta.
Yeah.
La Mulana is a game that came out around the time. It came out during the Wii era of console games. It literally came out during that era of like games are super, super fucking easy.
Yeah.
And it was developed by Konami developers, and their goal was literally like, hey, I miss how games used to be. Let's make an old-fashioned style game and see how that goes. And it turned out to be pretty successful. And then it got like a nice remake for the Nintendo Wii, and is a classic game. Don't want to talk too much about La Mulana though. So the way Barbuda works is you play as a little guy with a little Barboot helmet.
Little guy.
And he's got a little toothpick sword. He can
Yep.
barely reach anything in front of him. And he walks super, super slow, and he jumps super, super awkwardly. And you've got to explore this maze castle for items and stuff to make progress. It doesn't really tell you what to do. Like I said, it is designed to make you want to switch and try out a different game.
Yep.
That said, a lot of people will, go for bat for Barbuda, claiming that it's actually pretty good. And now that I've fully played it, I get it.
Oh.
Barbuda's kind of brilliant. Barbuda has maybe the best designed map.
Can I make one point of reference here? This is on your list of 5 worst UFO 50 games.
It is on my list of 5 worst UFO 50 games. That was from the cursed episode that never came out.
Well, it's also from last episode.
I did mention that on the last episode. No, I mean, okay, this is still on that list, if I'm being honest. Until I fully review every game, I'm not going to know for certain, but I'm probably going to keep it on that list because I don't think most people will enjoy it.
Are you making a ranking?
I think I will. I'll
should.
start doing that. We'll start in the next episode when I review a second game. I'll tell you if it's better than Barbuda or not. I'll do what I think. Anyway, so this game's world map is fucking brilliant.
Okay.
So have I ever told you how much I love Super Metroid?
Yes.
Have I ever told you about the miracles that Super Metroid
I have
performs?
no idea.
So Super Metroid is a game that does not hold your hand at all.
Nope.
You are dropped into a giant maze, and you're just kind of figuring out where you're supposed to go. And the first miracle it performs is you can figure out where to go.
Yep.
Because of just how well the map is designed, the routes that you take, and the spots that you see, and the way it'll kind of like give you a hint of where to go next, and like give you things to remember that'll pop up into your brain later and stuff
Yep.
like that. Barbuda is like that on a smaller scale. That trap that kills you immediately will convince you probably if you keep going. If it doesn't convince you to stop playing Barbuda entirely, it'll convince you to go to the left instead of the right.
Yep.
And if you go to the left, you can kill some enemies, you can get some cash, you can buy an item, and you can make slow progress. Like it's very, very like it. the way it would play out is you've got 6 lives,
Yep.
and I would just continually play through the same sequence of, okay, go to this room, kill these guys, get 100 cash, buy an umbrella, go to the next room, go into these things where it's got the dripping acid. Now that I've got the umbrella to stop me, I can kill these enemies and get some more cash, and I can buy another item. And it was a very, very linear sequence. Then I got stuck. I couldn't figure out where to go. I'd been everywhere that I was capable of exploring, and it turned out I was missing something. There is a specific guy who says, pay attention to like certain rooms, and like literally right outside his room, oh, wait, why is this acid pool not animated like the other ones?
Yeah.
It's a secret. Oh my god, the game just opens up from there.
Okay.
Like, that whole linear sequence I did, well, once I found this one item and I opened up this other area, I found out, oh, I can do all that beginning thing in a completely different order now.
Yeah.
Now that I know about this. And also, in order to make progress to that final dungeon where the boss is, they've got like 3 different ways of getting in there. Like whether it's a locked door, or whether you go from the other side of the map and you like drop down and you fight like a mimic enemy, or whether you like pay a guy to bust open the back wall or something like that. Like there's so many different ways to like get where you want to go, and so many little different routes. And it kind of like shows you each one in sequence without ever actually showing you. You just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking excellently designed. But it's not fun.
I was waiting for
Sorry,
that.
I'm running out of breath.
The
So
whole time you were doing that, I was like, there's a needle. I can see the needle. It's slowly dropping. Where is it going to drop?
the thing is that this stupid little Barbuda Knight guy moves so painfully slow, and he jumps so awkwardly, and there's no music, and it makes this like droning noise every time you screen transition for some reason. La Mulana is quick. The game Castle, whatever I mentioned, Maze of Gallius, is quick. Super Metroid is quick. Like, Barbuda is not a big game. The speed run that we've got open is, like, he's literally beating it in under 5 minutes, and this is not the world record.
No.
Maybe you can beat it under 5 minutes, but that's not because your guy is racing super fast to do it. It's because it's not long.
Yeah.
And because once you figure out the optimal route out of all the different paths, like, you know. My issue is, as brilliantly as designed it is to play, it is not physically fun.
Yeah.
It is not a fun platformer. It is not a fun action game. It's got really, really cool secrets, like, tiny spoiler, you can upgrade your sword to what's called the Blood Sword. And the way you do that is you find a room with like a door up on a ledge, and you can't get to it.
Yep.
And a guy says, in order to get the Blood Sword, remember what they tell you about making omelets. Your
some
six
eggs.
your 6 lives are depicted as eggs on the side of the screen.
Yeah.
And when you die, an egg appears somewhere on that map, and you break it open, and your guy appears there.
Yeah.
Thing is, that egg always appears in a specific spot in each room. So the room with the Blood Sword, you throw yourself into a pit of spikes, and then you'll revive next to the door.
So cool.
It's so brilliant. And I'm going to spoil that one because the Blood Sword isn't the best weapon. You probably want to skip it entirely.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I wouldn't because that's a dope. That'd be the easiest one to figure out.
Well, most of the items you get are entirely optional. Like at first you get that umbrella so that you can get past the acid thing, and then you get the needle so you can pop some bubbles. You can skip the needle entirely. There's a item that makes it so you can go up and down ladders really fast, which is funnily the fastest movement after you get that item.
Yeah.
But that one's pretty skippable. There's a magic wand that you can get by trading your sword. There's a thing that makes the final boss easier, like it's a bat that like protects you against phantoms and stuff that attack you. I say final boss, it's the only boss.
Fair. So like, it's like you get the appeal of it, but like
I get the appeal of it.
it's
I
still
don't personally love it. It is very close to being my thing. You know?
It's just too slow.
It's just too slow.
It does take this dude a full 5 seconds to go from the center of here to here.
And this is an under 5 minute speed run.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like, this is in any other game, this would be a room that they would take you less than 2 seconds to go through the whole thing.
And nothing's more frustrating than, like, you have to jump over a gap, but in order to make the jump, because of the super limited jump physics, you have to hang slightly off the edge of the platform you're on, and you have to land slightly off edge of the platform that you're going to, and if you jump a little bit too early, you kill yourself. I hate that shit.
It kind of reminds me of the way that Elden Ring does boss fights, which is weird.
That's a weird way of putting it.
Well, the way Elden Ring does boss fights, and what I hated about it is that like you'll have a boss, and he'll wind up his attack, and he'll wind up, and he's getting ready to attack you, and then he attacks, and he attacks in like half a second.
Yeah.
The actual thing lands. So you're sitting there and you're waiting because you know it's coming. It just keeps going and going and going.
And it's annoying because it's a ridiculously long time to wait, and that's not the problem. The problem is that there is, a version of the attack where he attacks like 10 seconds faster.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, well, you know that he might attack a little faster, so you have to wait and time it.
You know, if you attack, then it's just going to go down.
Yep.
It's so annoying. That's kind of what this is reminding me
They
of.
do read inputs in the newer Souls
I know
games.
they do. It's so frustrating. But, yeah, that's kind of what the way you're describing this to me is like that slow, annoying, like eventual, and you can see things coming and you have to avoid them, and you're just like, and then you do it. It sucks.
So I'm going to put Barbuda in B tier.
B tier.
I don't know if I can give it a like out of 5 or out of 10 review yet.
Can we do a tier list? I'll probably actually just have to do this.
I do tier lists because if you go onto the UFO 50 subreddit, the most common type of post is people just ranking all the games in a tier list.
Gotcha. Back.
So I'd put Barbuda in my B tier. I don't think I like it enough to be an A tier, but the quality is almost enough for it to be an A tier.
Could you make a tier list and then bring it here, and then we can have it on the screen next time around?
I will when I have at least 3 games to put on that list.
Very valid. Yeah, Barbuda. I did not like what I played of it. I thought it was, I don't know, fine.
It is the most skippable game on the entire collection. It was designed to be.
I did not discover any such secrets. I did not have the same experience. But, like, it's there.
Oh, one of my notes, because I've got the Wikipedia page open, and it mentions who actually developed each of the games. Mm-hmm. Also, several games on the collection I found out are remakes of games that developers had made before on, like, Newgrounds and stuff.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd have to check which ones are which. I don't believe Barbuda is one. I believe Barbuda is original for this. But it was developed by, spelled a little weird, Eirik, E-I-R-I-K, Cirque. Eirik Cirque.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that hilarious because according to his gamography or ludography, however it's called, he mostly makes music for other indie devs. And this game doesn't have music. Like, it's a game that he developed, and he's famous for doing music. He didn't add music to Barbuda. He did do the music for Downwell, and I got really confused because I thought only one person made Downwell, and I was like, did Eirik Cirque make Downwell? No, it was not.
I think a lot of people consider when you're a single developer,
they're talking about the actual development
of the game. They don't talk about music usually because very few people, I think, the only one I know of off the top of my head is Toby Fox, who did his own music.
Yeah.
Like, literally, he's the only one I know about. I don't know anyone else.
Plenty do, but he is one of the most famous examples because he's a better composer than he is a game developer.
Oh, absolutely. I've actually been told that I'll slightly talk about what I was going to do this week until I realized it was Next Fest. What I was going to do this week, what was going to be my starting topic, was that I was going to join the Pirate Software Game Jam.
Oh, that sounds like it could be fun.
It certainly will hopefully be fun. I'll probably not produce anything. But that was my plan, is because I have like a month till it comes out, and I was just going to go on the I have a bunch of Godot, because Godot's a game engine. Godot courses.
I'm familiar with it.
I have a bunch of Godot courses. I was going to just play through those and try to get like an idea on how to do what I want to do. He has talked about how one of his his whole thing, Pirate Software, if you don't know him, his whole thing is make games. He loves developing. He's a game developer himself, and he's like suggests it all the time.
Game jams are like the coolest thing.
Yeah, and he does a really big one with his whole community. He has made the point that Toby Fox's all of the dialogue in Toby Fox's games, Undertale at least, all of it is in one text file.
What?
It's in one string.
What?
Yeah, all of it.
I heard that Undertale was being held together by chewing gum and paper clips. I did not realize that was the extent.
It's like, if you don't know programming or making games or anything, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that is insane. That's an insane thing to do. Because, like, how do you make it? But he made it work.
Undertale plays just fine.
It sure does.
Like, apparently, under the hood, it's a mess. But you would never know just by looking at the chassis.
I'm sure there's a way to break it, like almost certainly.
Oh, definitely.
But I have to replay that game.
You need... Well, I kind of do, too.
I need to replay it because I never got the real ending.
Have you tried out Deltarune at all?
No, I'm not going to bother until I actually replay Undertale.
Because the third and fourth parts are going to be coming out soon, so it's going to be a complete game pretty soon.
It's actually finally on Steam, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to play it until it's complete, and I'm not going to play it until I replay Undertale and get the actual ending I want, which is the passive ending.
We'll talk more about Undertale and probably Deltarune in another episode.
And then what we'll do is never talk about the fans ever.
Ever?
Never, because those are people we don't want to talk about.
I plan on thoroughly spoiling Undertale.
Yes. Yeah, but Barbuda, meh.
Meh. B tier.
I really talked about all my cool Next Fest games. I will probably have a couple more to talk about next week. Not too many, not nearly as many as today, but we'll see.
I can promise I already beat the next game on the collection, so I will be reviewing Bug Hunter next week.
Gotcha, cool. And what's the next one you're playing after that?
After that's Ninpek, and I've been playing Ninpek a lot for the past week, because I beat Barbuda pretty quickly, and then I beat Bug Hunter somehow. And so I was like, okay, well, I better get a start on the next one so I can stay ahead of it. Holy shit, Ninpek is so fucking hard, dude. I don't know if I'm going to fucking get this one.
If you don't, it's fine. I did notice you completed 10.
Oh, yeah. I got 10 golds now. 10 different games on that collection.
All right, well, we got to wrap up anyway. Like, comment, and subscribe, please, and thank you, especially if you got to here.
Smash that like button.
No. We're not going that deep.
Click the bell to get notifications.
Or just, open your subscription tab. That's what I do.
I just browse YouTube.
Yeah,
I'm like, hey, look, that person updated.
That's an option, but the problem with that is that's actually why the bell tab exists. It's because when you do just that, your shit doesn't pop up. So there's, a creator who you haven't watched in a couple of, weeks, who will have new videos that just won't pop up for you.
See, what I do is, obviously I subscribe to the creators I really like.
Yeah. But
if there's someone who is popular enough and posts often enough, I don't subscribe to them because YouTube is just going to consistently recommend it to me. Maximilian Dude is a pretty cool streamer, does fighting games. I don't need to subscribe to him to get the recommendations. I don't want to watch every single one of his videos anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
I just subscribe and check out my subscriptions whenever I'm on YouTube. The first thing I do.
But since we're a small channel, you should do all those stuff like the smash the like button and the the bell and all that stuff.
Yeah, please.
So that you can support us.
Please do all of that, and then maybe one day we'll do 10 of these a day.
I don't want to do 10 of these a day.
Do 10 of these a day. But yeah, thanks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking out. I hope you check out some of the Next Fest games. Check out the Innis. At least check out Innis. Just check out Innis.
Check out Inish.
It's annoying because it's spelled Innis, but it's pronounced Inish. I hate it.
It is spelled INIS.
It's pronounced Inish. Goodbye.
Goodbye.